Oh my god, what a fantastic episode from start to finish. This is one of the best animated episodes of One Piece I have ever seen. Obviously, there's a lot of contenders for Egghead and just in general, but dude, this is up there for sure. Now, you can argue which episode is better between Zoro versus King, Lucci versus Luffy, One Piece 1074 where Kaido's fighting Luffy, that whole entire scene. Like y'all know, if y'all watch One Piece, y'all know what scene I'm talking about specifically. But there's been so many great episodes. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like we've been spoiled here and there because I get it with the anime. It has its ups and downs because obviously it's a weekly thing. And I've seen someone on TikTok commentate or on Twitter, I believe, they're like, why can't we get this every single week? Dude, it is impossible. Let's be honest. If you know anything about animation, that shit costs a lot of money. It's a weekly series, and like, this shit takes time. So the fact that they were able to pull this off, congrats to the entire staff members. Shout out to everybody, but shout out to you, Vincent Chansart, because you absolutely killed it with the Gorosei pulling up. This is personally one of my most highly anticipated episodes that I wanted to get animated to see how they would cook. Because usually when it comes to the One Piece anime, when it comes to like an important manga chapter, they usually always end up cooking. I know obviously it has sometimes its letdowns and whatnot with the series, but really though, when they lock in, they absolutely go crazy. They got the Avengers for this episode, and dude, it looked just fantastic from start to finish. Seeing the Gorosei pull up, seeing the atmosphere change, and just like there were just so many cuts. Like this is one of those episodes like where you can pause and you're gonna find like some type of treat every single time you pause. Like so many cool effects, so many cool animate. Like the animation is fantastic. And Vincent Chancellor, I believe that's how you pronounce his name. I don't know, but he's definitely made a name over the years when it comes to his art style and animation. I just absolutely love it. I wish he got to animate other animes as well. I don't know if he has a contract with Toei or not, but maybe he's a freelancer. By the way, though, he did an amazing job with it. I just love the way I just love his art style. I'm a huge fan of him, and of course I'm gonna glaze the fuck out of his work. But yeah, him during the whole Gorosei sequence or whatever looks so cool. My favorite Gorosei, if y'all probably wondering, is the guy that has the horse, like the skeleton horse. I forgot his name. I know his name, I just don't want to pronounce it because I'm gonna fuck it up. But yeah, he's my favorite Gorosei. Saturn is probably my, no, I wouldn't say my least, my second least, because I don't really like the sandworm. The worm looking one. I'm not the biggest fan of that one, if I'm being honest. I do like Mars though. Mars has a really cool design. I love the colors. Honestly, I kind of like the color palette for all of them. They all look pretty cool. But in terms of design though, I definitely think the one with the skull, I forgot his name. Well, I know his name, I just don't want to pronounce it wrong. But he is my favorite Gorosei. And just watching him go straight to action, go to work, like blitzing all like the PXs, it looks so sick. I'm like, damn, they're really showing love to like the Gorosei, at least in this episode, because obviously they can't keep this animation up for like every single week. But just imagine if One Piece was seasonal and we would get this shit on a daily basis. But obviously that's not gonna happen. But it is what it is. But the fact that they were able to pull this off, like I said, commend all hats off to the staff members and especially the animators, because y'all are the heart and soul when it comes to making anime just look amazing. This is one of the best episodes I've ever seen, just in general. Like I said, One Piece obviously has its ups and downs because it's a weekly thing, and I've seen a lot of people hate on One Piece as of recently with the latest episodes, but when they lock in, you see everybody switch up and whatnot, which is understandable. But yeah, they did a great job with this episode. And not just that, part A was really good, but part B, Zoro versus Lucci, listen, I was not expecting none of that. The fact that they really went all out for Zoro, and you could tell that they really love Zoro. Like, trust me when I say this, if you read the manga, at least when it comes to Zoro versus Lucci, that specific part that we saw in the anime, they was not doing all that. Like, I mean, it did happen, but they added so many extra scenes. They made it really well. I was so locked in. Beautiful animation. Like, it's just, like I said, it's crazy how some of these animators, like, make this into like anime and be super creative with it, because in the manga it was super short, like I think like one couple panels and that was it, nothing to what we saw in the anime. So the fact that they went all out. And another cool thing that I like about the clash between Zoro versus Lucci is whenever they clash, they feel the presence of the Gorosei. Like that to me was like so fucking sick. I'm not gonna lie, I love like small little details like that. I'm like, holy shit, like you could tell that the Gorosei is a threat and whatnot. And then Zoro had to lock in. But yeah, that part B was so amazing. I love how they animated Zoro and Lucci, and just in general, the whole entire episode, like I said, was really good from start to finish. Because I know when it comes to One Piece, it's such a long series, sometimes it has its downs, but when it has its ups, and especially one of these episodes, listen, man, it's up there in terms of like one of the, I personally would argue it's probably one of the best animated sequences we've ever seen, just in general, from start to finish. Like, really great stuff. You see the giants helping out Luffy as well. And I know a lot of people don't necessarily sometimes like Gear 5 because it's really goofy and whatnot. It's not for everybody, but I mean, if you've been watching One Piece, you should understand kind of the gist of it by now in the show. But to each his own, right? But yeah, definitely wanted to just share my thoughts on this week's episode of One Piece. I thought it was great. It's up there for sure in terms of one of the best. Now, obviously, y'all can argue which one is the best, but it just has. I just appreciate good art. Okay, I really do. I'm a huge sucker for animation, and I like the One Piece story. It's one of my favorite animes, and like I said, I know it gets a lot of hate, but hey man, when you gotta give us props, you gotta give us props. But yeah, with that being said, like I said, let me know what y'all thought about this week's episode, if y'all watched it or not. Just wanted to share my thoughts. If y'all did enjoy this episode and y'all want me to talk about more about, you know, future One Piece anime episodes and stuff like that, just like the video. I appreciate a little support. Y'all can check out my other videos to talk about different animes and mangas. And yeah.